Imagine having the power to transform your life by simply remaining silent. Sound strange to you? Well, today I will reveal 12 situations where silence is not only golden, but the key to being truly valued. Did you know that some of history's greatest sages have used silence as their secret weapon? From Socrates to Gandhi, silence has been his ally. And you, are you ready to find out how and when staying silent can change your life? In the next few minutes, I'll show you how staying silent in these 12 crucial situations will not only make you wiser, but it will also make you more respected and valued by others. So stay with me until the end, because what you are about to learn might be the best-kept secret of wisdom. Start. Speaking without having all the information can lead to misunderstandings, incorrect decisions, and unnecessary conflicts. In many situations, the urge to express an opinion or make a quick judgment can be detrimental. For example, in a work environment, giving feedback on a project without knowing all the details can lead to mistakes and incorrect assumptions that negatively affect the team. Likewise, in personal conversations, making hasty judgments about someone's actions without knowing their full context can damage relationships and lead to resentment. Let's take a specific case. Imagine you hear two co-workers arguing about task assignment. Without knowing the background and previous responsibilities of each one, you decide to intervene and support one of them. Later, you realize that the person you supported already had a considerable workload and that your intervention not only did not help, but created more tension in the team. In this example, your impulse to speak up without having all the information caused a conflict that could have been avoided by staying silent and seeking more information before intervening. Another situation could be during a meeting where strategies for a new project are discussed. If you talk rashly about a plan without having analyzed all the variables, you might come up with an idea that, while it sounds good on the surface, isn't viable when all the factors are considered. Not only can this make your opinion lose credibility, but it can also delay the progress of the project while correcting misinformed ideas. Remaining silent until you have a full understanding of the situation allows for more informed and balanced decisions. It gives you the opportunity to listen to others, analyze the available information, and consider different perspectives before forming an opinion. Additionally, silence can be a powerful tool for showing respect and consideration toward others, indicating that you value their contributions and take the time to understand the full context before speaking. In the midst of a heated argument, staying calm and listening before responding is crucial to prevent the situation from spiraling out of control. Emotions can cloud judgment and lead to saying things you may regret. The key to managing these situations is to control your emotions and respond thoughtfully. The importance of staying calm in an argument cannot be understated. When we get carried away in anger or frustration, it's easy to lose sight of the goal of the conversation and fall into personal attacks. Staying calm allows the discussion to focus on the real problem rather than veering into accusations and recriminations. Not only does this help resolve conflict more quickly, but it also demonstrates maturity and emotional control. Listening before responding is another critical skill in any discussion, especially those that are intense. Active listening involves paying attention not only to the other person's words, but also to their tone of voice, body language, and underlying emotions. Not only does this show respect towards the other person, but it also gives you a better understanding of their perspective. By taking the time to listen, you can formulate a more considered and effective response, one that addresses the key points of the discussion and contributes to a constructive resolution. There are several strategies for managing emotions during a heated argument. One of the most effective is the deep breathing technique. By taking slow, deep breaths, you can calm your nervous system and reduce emotional tension. Another helpful strategy is to take a short break. If you feel like the argument is escalating and you're getting too emotional, asking for a few minutes to calm down and clear your thoughts can be very beneficial. During this time, you can reflect on the discussion and consider how you want to respond constructively. It's also important to practice empathy. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their feelings and points of view. This can help you respond more compassionately and reduce the emotional intensity of the argument. Empathy not only improves the quality of communication, but it can also help build bridges and find mutually beneficial solutions. Another technique is to use first-person statements instead of accusations. For example, instead of saying, "You always do this," you might say, I feel frustrated when this happens because this can help reduce the other person's defensiveness and open up space for a more open and honest conversation. When someone is sharing a painful experience, empathy and the power of silence are critical to offering the support the person needs. In times of suffering, what people need most is to feel heard and understood. Silence in these circumstances becomes a powerful tool to demonstrate empathy and offer comfort without the need for words. Empathy involves understanding and sharing another person's feelings. When someone opens up and shares a painful experience, showing empathy means being genuinely and sensitively present. This doesn't always require saying something. Sometimes words can seem trivial or even inappropriate in the face of someone's deep pain. In these cases, silence can communicate that you are there, willing to listen and accompany the person in their suffering, without judging or rushing their emotional process. The power of silence in emotional situations lies in its ability to allow the other person to express themselves fully. By staying silent, you give them space to talk, cry, or just be. This space can be incredibly healing, as it allows the person to process their feelings and experiences at their own pace. Not interrupting with well-meaning but unnecessary words can help prevent the person from feeling invalidated or pressured to feel better before they are ready. Silence can be a significant support because it transmits presence and unconditional support. Sometimes, when people try to comfort someone in pain, they feel the need to say something that will ease their suffering. However, this can lead to comments that, while well-intentioned, downplay the person's pain or suggest that they should get over it quickly. Comments like, "Everything will be fine," or "Don't worry," can seem derogatory or unsympathetic. In contrast, silence lets the person know that they don't need to put up a facade or rush to feel better. Another way that silence can be a support is by allowing emotions to flow uninterrupted. Tears, sighs, and moments of reflection are all part of the healing process. If we constantly interrupt with words, we can cut off this natural flow of emotions and make the person feel misunderstood. Respectful silence validates the person's feelings and gives them tacit permission to feel what they need to feel at that moment. Being silent also gives us the opportunity to use other methods of nonverbal communication that can be very comforting. A hug, a handshake, or just sitting next to the person can communicate much more than words. These actions can convey warmth, support, and solidarity in a way that words can't always achieve. It is also important to remember that silence does not mean an absence of communication. During times of grief, people may need different forms of support. Some may want to talk at length about what they're feeling, while others may need just quiet company. Adapting to the person's needs and being attentive to their signals is crucial. Gently asking if there's anything you can do, or just be available without imposing your presence, can be an effective way to show support. In moments of anger, it's crucial to avoid speaking impulsively. The reasons for not speaking up when you're angry are many and varied, but they all point toward the same goal: to avoid damaging relationships and to make decisions you might regret. Anger is a powerful emotion that can cloud judgment and cause you to say hurtful things or make rash decisions that don't reflect your true thinking. One of the main reasons not to speak up when you're angry is that anger can distort your perception of the situation. When we are angry, we tend to interpret the actions and words of others more negatively than they really are. This can lead to misunderstandings and unnecessary escalations of the conflict. Speaking in that emotional state can result in accusations and reproaches that not only do not solve the problem, but aggravate it. In addition, anger can prevent you from really listening to and understanding the other person's point of view. In an argument, if you're dominated by anger, you're likely to be more focused on formulating your response or defending yourself than on listening and understanding what the other person is trying to say. This can lead to a lack of effective communication and both parties feeling unheard and misunderstood, thus escalating the conflict. Speaking angrily can also have long-term consequences on relationships. Words spoken in moments of anger can be extremely hurtful and hard to forget. Even if you apologize later, the damage can be done and trust can be affected. People remember how you made them feel, and words spoken in an angry fit can leave lasting emotional scars. To avoid these problems, it is essential to learn and apply techniques to calm yourself down before responding. One of the most effective techniques is deep breathing. When you find yourself in a situation that makes you angry, take a few moments to take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 4, and exhale through your mouth for a count of 4. Repeat this process several times until you feel that your anger level has decreased. Deep breathing helps reduce the body's fight-or-flight response, allowing you to think more clearly. Another useful technique is to practice time out. If the situation allows, step away from the anger trigger. You can say something like, "I need a few minutes to calm down," and retreat to a quiet place. During this time, you can do activities that help you relax, such as listening to soft music, taking a walk, or practicing meditation. The goal is to create a space between the stimulus that caused the anger and your response, giving you time to calm down and think clearly. It's also beneficial to identify and challenge your negative thoughts. When we're angry, we tend to have negative automatic thoughts that fuel our anger. Ask yourself if these thoughts are really true, or if there is another way to interpret the situation. This can help you see the situation from a more balanced perspective and respond more rationally and less emotionally. Practicing empathy can also be a powerful technique for calming yourself down. Try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and understand their feelings and motivations. This doesn't mean you should agree with them, but trying to see things from their perspective can help you feel less angry and respond more constructively. During an important meeting, the value of observing and listening cannot be underestimated. In the professional arena, these skills are essential to fully understand team dynamics, expectations, and the needs of others. Observing and listening carefully allows you to pick up on details that you might miss if you're too focused on speaking or formulating your next intervention. Not only does this improve your understanding of the topics covered, but it also positions you as a thoughtful and considerate person. Silence in an important meeting can be a powerful tool for boosting your perception. By staying silent, you can devote your full attention to the words, tone of voice, and body language of others. This allows you to pick up on nuances and subtexts that can be crucial to a full understanding of the discussion. For example, you might notice if someone agrees but has reservations that they're not openly expressing, or if there's tension between team members that could affect future collaboration. Listening carefully also allows you to identify patterns in communication and group dynamics. You can observe who the informal leaders are, who are most reluctant to share their opinions, and how decisions are made. This information is invaluable for navigating professional interactions effectively and for positioning yourself strategically within the group. Silence not only increases your perception, but it can also increase the respect others have for you. When you actively listen and observe, you show that you value the opinions and contributions of others. This generates a perception of you as someone trustworthy and respectful, qualities that are highly valued in any professional environment. People are more likely to listen to your opinions and consider you a valuable ally when they feel that their ideas and feelings are valued. In addition, by talking less and listening more, you have the opportunity to formulate more thoughtful and well-founded responses and inputs. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can take the time to consider all the information available and bring in perspectives that really add value to the discussion. Not only does this approach improve the quality of your interventions, but it also shows that you're a person who prefers quality over quantity in communication. Silence can also be an effective strategy for managing conflict in a meeting. When emotions are high and arguments become intense, opting for silence instead of joining in the confrontation can help de-escalate the situation. This doesn't mean that you should be passive or avoid expressing your opinions, but that you should choose the right time and manner to do so. By staying calm and not reacting impulsively, you can help create a more constructive and problem-solving environment. Another benefit of silence in important meetings is that it allows you to give others space to express themselves. This is especially important in diverse teams, where some people may feel less comfortable speaking or may need more time to organize their thoughts. By creating a space where everyone feels heard and valued, you contribute to a culture of inclusion and respect, which is critical to the team's long-term success. Acknowledging that you are not the expert on a subject and giving the floor to those who have more knowledge and experience is a sign of humility and wisdom. In any field, but especially in the professional field, it is crucial to understand your own limits and know when it is better to listen than to talk. By doing so, you not only demonstrate respect for the knowledge of others, but you also open the door to continuous learning and meaningful personal and professional growth. Admitting that you don't have all the answers may seem like a weakness, but it's actually a strength. It shows that you are aware of your own limitations and that you value the experience and knowledge of others. In a team environment, this attitude can foster a culture of collaboration and mutual respect, where each person feels valued for their specific contributions. When you recognize that someone else is more knowledgeable about a topic, give the floor and pay attention. You're making the most of the resources available in your environment. Giving the floor to the experts allows the discussion to be richer and more productive. Experts can provide detailed insights, experience-based perspectives, and solutions you might not have considered. By listening to experts, you can gain a deeper and more complete understanding of the topic at hand, which is beneficial for informed decision-making. In addition, this helps to avoid errors that could arise from a lack of knowledge or incorrect interpretations. The benefits of learning from others are numerous. First, it allows you to acquire new knowledge and skills. By paying attention to those who have more experience or training in a specific area, you can learn from their successes and mistakes, which is invaluable for your own development. This learning can be both technical and practical, ranging from industry-specific knowledge to interpersonal and leadership skills. Learning from others also exposes you to different perspectives and approaches. Each person has a unique way of seeing and approaching problems, influenced by their experience, background, and environment. By opening yourself up to these different perspectives, you can broaden your own thinking and discover new ways to solve problems or face challenges. This is especially useful in a diverse and multidisciplinary environment where the combination of different points of view can lead to innovative and effective solutions. Another benefit of learning from others is the creation of valuable relationships and networks. When you show interest and respect for the knowledge of others, you are more likely to develop positive and trusting relationships. These relationships can be beneficial in both the short and long term, providing support, mentorship, and opportunities for collaboration. Strong professional networks are crucial for growth and success in any career, and learning from others is an effective way to build and strengthen these networks. In addition, acknowledging and giving the floor to experts can improve your own credibility and respect within the team or organization. People tend to respect those who are honest about their limitations and who value the contributions of others. This attitude can position you as an effective and reliable leader, someone who knows when to lead and when to follow, and who is always willing to learn and improve. On social media and online conversations, the dangers of impulsive opinion are numerous and can have long-lasting consequences. The immediacy and global reach of digital platforms mean that our words can be seen by a much wider audience than we could anticipate. When we give our opinion impulsively, without thinking about the possible repercussions, we run the risk of misunderstandings, unnecessary conflicts, and damage to our personal and professional reputations. One of the main dangers of impulsive opinion online is a lack of context. Social media posts are often brief and may lack the nuance needed to properly communicate our intentions. What could be an innocent joke or personal opinion can easily be misinterpreted, leading to heated arguments or even an avalanche of criticism. Additionally, a lack of face-to-face interaction can make people feel freer to say things they wouldn't say in person, often resulting in harsher or more insensitive comments. Another danger is the permanence of our words online. Unlike an in-person conversation, what we say on social networks is recorded and can be retrieved at any time. An impulsive opinion or emotional reaction can be captured, shared, and spread long after you've changed your mind or regretted your words. This can affect not only your personal relationships, but also your career opportunities, as more and more employers check candidates' social media as part of the hiring process. In addition, impulsive opinions can fuel the culture of polarization and conflict online. Social networks tend to amplify the most extreme voices and create echo chambers where only our own opinions are reinforced. When we give our opinion impulsively, we often do so in a reactive and emotional way, which can contribute to the creation of a toxic and divisive environment. Not only does this affect our personal experience online, but it can also have a negative impact on society at large, encouraging misinformation and extremism. To avoid these dangers, it is essential to adopt more thoughtful digital communication. One of the first things we can do is take a moment to think before posting, asking ourselves if we really need to share our opinion and if what we are about to say is constructive and respectful. This simple act of reflection can avoid many unnecessary misunderstandings and conflicts. Another useful strategy is to consider the long-term impact of our words. Before publishing, it's important to think about how our words might be interpreted by different audiences and how they might affect us in the future. If there is any doubt about whether something could be misinterpreted or cause harm, it is better to refrain from publishing it or look for a more careful way to express our ideas. Practicing empathy is also crucial in digital communication. Trying to put ourselves in others' shoes and consider their perspectives can help us communicate more compassionately and effectively. Not only does this improve the quality of our online interactions, but it also contributes to a more positive and constructive digital environment. In addition, it is important to be aware of our emotions and avoid posting when we are in a high emotional state. Anger, frustration, or sadness can cloud our judgment and lead us to say things we will later regret. Taking time to calm down and reflect before responding can make a big difference in the quality of our communication. Setting personal boundaries and rules for social media use can also be beneficial. Deciding how much time we spend online, what kind of content we consume, and who we interact with can help us maintain a healthier and more balanced digital experience. This includes being selective about the platforms we use and making sure they align with our personal values and goals. In the face of criticism, silence can be a powerful tool for processing and leveraging constructive criticism. When someone criticizes us, especially if the criticism is unexpected or perceived as negative, our knee-jerk reaction can be defensive. However, taking a moment of silence before responding can make a big difference in how we absorb and respond to criticism. Silence allows a space for reflection and processing of the information received. Instead of reacting impulsively, silence gives us a chance to consider the validity of the criticism, identify any truth in it, and think about how we can use that information to improve. This time of reflection is crucial for turning a potentially negative experience into an opportunity for learning and growth. By remaining silent, we can analyze criticism from a more objective perspective, evaluating whether it is a fair observation and how it can contribute to our personal or professional development. In addition, silence can help de-escalate a potentially tense situation. Criticism, especially when delivered abruptly or at an inappropriate time, can lead to intense emotions for both the critic and the person being criticized. Responding immediately can result in an escalation of the confrontation. By opting for silence, you not only give yourself time to calm your own emotions, but you also give the critic space to reflect on their words and possibly soften their approach. Silence also communicates respect and willingness to listen. By not interrupting and taking the time to listen fully, you show that you value the other person's opinion, even if you disagree with it. This attitude can improve relationships, as people feel more valued and respected when they know their opinions are heard. This can open up a more constructive and effective dialogue, where both parties can share their perspectives respectfully and find solutions together. The difference between reacting and responding is significant in the context of facing criticism. Reacting is often an emotional and impulsive response that can lead to defensiveness, confrontation, and escalation of conflict. Reactions are swift and generally do not consider the full content of the critique or possible solutions. For example, a common reaction to a criticism might be to deny any fault, justify actions, or return a criticism to the critic. These reactions do not contribute to a constructive resolution and often make the situation worse. Answering, on the other hand, involves deeper, more thoughtful consideration. A well-thought-out response shows that you've taken the time to process the criticism, consider its validity, and think about how to approach the points raised constructively. Responding can include acknowledging any truth in the criticism, thanking the critic for their feedback, and discussing how you plan to improve in the future. Not only does this approach demonstrate maturity and professionalism, but it can also turn a potentially negative review into a positive opportunity for growth and improvement. Additionally, responding appropriately to a review can set a positive tone for future interactions. When people see that you handle criticism constructively and thoughtfully, they're more likely to see you as trustworthy and open to learning. This can foster a more collaborative and supportive work environment or relationship, where feedback is given and received constructively. When you're listening to advice, the importance of actively listening before you speak can't be understated. Active listening involves not only hearing the other person's words, but also understanding and processing the entire message they are trying to communicate. This type of listening requires concentration and effort, as it involves paying attention to the words, tone of voice, body language, and context in which the advice is given. Silence plays a crucial role in this process. By remaining silent while someone offers advice, you show that you are truly interested in what they have to say. This silence is not passive, but full of intention. It shows that you're willing to receive information without interrupting, which not only allows you to understand the advice better, but also makes the other person feel valued and respected. Silence in this context is a powerful form of communication that conveys respect and openness. Silence also gives you the time to reflect on what you're hearing. Instead of rushing to formulate an answer or express your own opinion, you can take a moment to consider the advice from different angles. What is the value of this advice? How does it apply to your situation? What can you learn from the other person's experience or perspective? This kind of reflection can help you make more informed decisions and apply the advice more effectively in your life. In addition, silence can help avoid misunderstandings. When we interrupt or respond before the other person has finished speaking, we run the risk of not fully grasping the message. This can lead to confusion and misinterpretation of the advice. By listening quietly and allowing the other person to finish their thought, you ensure that you receive all the information necessary to fully understand the advice. This also shows that you value the time and effort the other person has put into giving you their perspective. Showing respect and openness to new ideas through silence can also strengthen relationships. People appreciate it when you listen to them carefully, and this can increase their willingness to offer you advice in the future. This dynamic of giving and receiving can enrich your personal and professional relationships, creating an environment of trust and cooperation. When people feel that their opinions and advice are valued, they are more inclined to share their knowledge and experiences, which can be extremely beneficial for your growth and learning. Silence also allows for a more balanced exchange and conversation. By not rushing to speak, you give space for the other person to express themselves fully. This can lead to a deeper and more meaningful conversation, where both participants can share and learn from each other. This dynamic is especially important in situations where the advice comes from someone with more experience or knowledge in a specific area. By giving them the space to share their wisdom, you benefit from their accumulated experience and can apply their lessons to your own life. In addition, the act of listening actively and quietly can serve as a positive role model for others. In a world where we are often quick to speak up and express our own opinions, showing that you are willing to listen can inspire others to do the same. This can create a more respectful and effective communication culture in your environment, whether at work, in the family, or in your social circle. By promoting active listening and mutual respect, you contribute to a more harmonious and collaborative environment. In moments of personal reflection, the role of silence is fundamental for self-knowledge and introspection. Silence offers a distraction-free space where we can explore our deepest thoughts, feelings, and experiences. This space is essential to understand who we are, what we want, and how we relate to the world around us. Without the constant noise of the environment and the pressure to respond to external stimuli, we can focus on our inner world and discover truths that are often hidden in the bustle of daily life. Silence allows us to face and process our emotions without the interference of outside opinions. In a world where interactions and distractions are constant, finding time to be quiet with yourself can be incredibly rejuvenating. It gives us the opportunity to recognize and accept our emotions, whether positive or negative, and to understand their origin and their impact on our lives. This process of self-knowledge is crucial for personal growth, as it helps us identify patterns of behavior, beliefs, and values that influence our decisions and actions. Silence also facilitates mental clarity. When we are constantly bombarded by information and stimuli, our mind can become confused and overloaded. Taking time to be quiet allows the mind to calm down and focus. This state of mental calm is ideal for reflection and meditation, as it allows us to see things with greater perspective and objectivity. We can analyze our experiences, evaluate our decisions, and plan our next steps with a clear, focused mind. There are several meditation and silent reflection techniques that can help us make the most of these moments of silence. One of the most well-known is mindfulness meditation, which involves focusing on the present moment without judgment. Practicing mindfulness can be as simple as sitting in a quiet place and focusing on your breath. By paying attention to each inhalation and exhalation, we can anchor our mind in the present and allow thoughts and feelings to flow without holding on to them. This regular practice can help us develop a greater awareness of ourselves and our emotional reactions. Another effective technique is guided meditation, where a recording or instructor guides the meditation process. These meditations can focus on a variety of topics, such as relaxation, self-compassion, or goal visualization. External guidance can be helpful for those who find it difficult to meditate in complete silence, providing structure and direction while maintaining the benefits of inner silence. Reflective writing is another powerful tool for self-knowledge in silence. Taking time to write about our thoughts, emotions, and experiences can help us process and better understand our inner world. Keeping a journal, for example, allows for continuous self-exploration and can reveal patterns and insights that would otherwise go unnoticed. Writing in silence, without distractions, allows us to deepen our reflections and connect more deeply with ourselves. Time in nature can also be an effective form of quiet reflection. Being in a natural environment, away from the noise and distractions of urban life, can provide an ideal space for introspection. Walking through a forest, sitting by a river, or simply observing the sky can inspire a deep connection with oneself and the environment. Nature has a calming and revitalizing effect, which can facilitate mental and emotional clarity. Silence can also be a tool for problem-solving and decision-making. When we are faced with a dilemma or a difficult situation, taking time to reflect quietly can help us see things from different perspectives and consider options that we had not contemplated before. This process of silent reflection allows us to weigh the pros and cons of our decisions with a calm and focused mind, increasing the odds of making wise and well-informed decisions. If you found this content useful and want to learn more about how to transform your life, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Your support helps us continue to share valuable information for your personal growth.